Okay, so we've got a couple of minutes left. Just want to say one thing. This is more of a meeting than a webinar, I believe. Close the door, baby. And so you can actually talk if you want. If any of you want to put your hand up and talk, please do so. You can use your mic. But also, if you are not talking, please mute. I had one webinar I did once where the host of the webinar kept his mic on. And as I was talking, all you could hear as I was talking was the host going, oh, as if like, I don't know whether it was because I was boring him or he's just tired. But if you can imagine somebody as you're talking, you keep getting these yawns in your headset and everybody else in the webinar can hear it. It is slightly off-putting, and I've done a lot of webinars and I'm fine. I get nervous before them, but having somebody yawn throughout a webinar, that can put me off my game. So make sure you're muted, but you can talk if you want to talk. Okay, so now we've got 20 seconds left. I will ramble. I do want to give people a chance to come in. What we tend to see is there's a certain section of the population that likes to log into a webinar 7 seconds before the start date. So I'm just watching the attendees now, and it just rises the moment the webinar starts. It's quite amusing. Anyway, first of all, thank you for those who are coming here. Some of you are here because you bought the footprint course. Some of you are here because you might need just a little refresher. So what we're talking about today isn't the footprint. It's kind of stuff you need before, like the stuff you need to understand before you look at the footprint. Now, before I dive into that, first thing I want to explain is why Jigsaw trading and Axia futures, right? So why is it the two of us work together, right? Because I tell you, there's bigger software companies than Jigsaw that want to work with Axia, right? So they could be working with much bigger people. And actually, there's bigger training companies that we could work with other than Axia. But when Axia started up, and I kind of heard the story, I was in London and I called Axia and I said, look, I like what you guys are doing. It sounds good. Can we meet up? And so I met up with Alex in the office in London, one of the offices they eventually got kicked out of for making too much noise. And we got on. And, we got on and we effectively had the same set of beliefs about what it takes to become a profitable trader. And that's really how we get started. Just excuse me, I just want to take a quick drink. Sorry, right. So Alex and I met him in London. We went for lunch. I've told this before. We got in the elevator. 3 guys from the prop firm got in the elevator, said, are you Peter Davies? We recognize your voice. And I said, why are you asking? And they said, we got started with order flow from Jigsaw, and now we're professional traders. And I'm really happy to hear that, because we started in 2010 and actually started in 2016. So a lot of guys that are now professionals got to start through us. And then I also met Alex in Thailand, and we spent some time in Thailand. We also spend lots of time on the phone on a Sunday morning where we just kind of talk about issues we're having with traders, how they develop, and different concepts for getting stuff to stick in. And one of the concepts of getting stuff to stick in is to stop people cramming information, right? So one of the things that a lot of people do, I get emails from people and they'll say, Pete, I spent all weekend watching your videos. And my first thought in my head is like, that's a terrible way to spend a weekend. Second thing that comes into my head is there's absolutely no way you've retained that much information. If you can just imagine all those, even though our videos, each one tends to focus on a narrow range, there's absolutely no way that you could absorb that information. And that's the reason this is a 7-week course, because we want to drip feed you the data in a way where we believe it will benefit you the most. And that's not based on some kind of theoretical concept. That's based on the experience of Alex and me. Alex has trained a lot of traders. I've worked with thousands of traders, way more than Alex, but retail side. He's developed a lot of professional traders. And so we talk about that and what works and what doesn't, right? So the goal for week 1 is to get everybody to a point where they actually understand order flow. And that's not a conceptual or theoretical understanding, but an experiential understanding. Now, I can tell you that this is what we advise all new customers to do. And probably 50% of them do it, right? And the reason we advise this is because a lot of people have come from technical analysis. And what they've seen in technical analysis is they've seen setups, and sometimes the setups work and sometimes they don't. What they've never seen in the markets is something where they've actually seen something in the market and then seen a follow-on effect. And when people see that kind of thing for the first time, it's a revelation. You say, oh my God, I've seen that happen over and over again. And the consequences I could actually see as well. You can actually see that cause and effect. And that's where you need to get to before you start the footprint course. Partly because whenever you buy a course, if you bought 3 or 4 courses already, your expectation, even at the back of your head, is that the course that you've just bought is bullshit. And a lot of people, I got a guy email me today, and he was asking all these questions. How do I know it's real? How do I know it's real? And I said, look, you shouldn't buy it, because when you buy it, you've got that expectation that it's BS, and you'll be looking to validate that explanation. So the moment you go through a little tough spot, you'll say it's the course, it was BS, another BS course, Jigsaw, a load of crap, and you'll stop. But you're really stopping because you set up that expectation from the start. So by letting you see things in the market that actually causes moves, it's going to give you a bit of validation that when you get to the footprint part, you're going to follow through, right? But before we can do anything, you have to actually get up and running, right? So this is the goal for week 1. Get you kicked off, get you on a demo feed, get you with the first few lessons that you need to learn to get into order flow. And then on Friday, we're going to make sure we all kind of agree and understand. Now, what you should all have right now is this. So does anybody that signed up not have all of these things on their members page? Have you all got that? Well, actually, I don't ask you if you've all got it. Has anybody not got it? Okay, right. So what I'm going to do is go through what you're looking at here. So first thing, add renew products. Do not add any additional products at this point. There is other education, but you need to stay focused on what you're doing now, right? If you feel you need something more, get in touch with me and I'll talk you out of it. Right? Or I'll try and talk you out of it. And I will tell you, if you don't believe that, right, there's a video on the blog, really cool video, and it's Steve Lee Road to Profit. This guy had spent $26,000 on courses, and he'd done a few of the Jigsaw courses, and he asked me about buying an additional course. And I had a chat with him, and I said, no, I don't need to buy it. I said, I can't stop you from buying it, but you don't have an information issue, right? You do not have a knowledge issue. You don't need additional education based on what you're saying to me. But he always was looking for extra. So I talked him out of it, and that was the turning point, and that was when he got to profit, right? So just believe at the moment, you're going to get emails about courses, whatever. Don't get any more training for the next 7 weeks. Now, chat room. This is a live chat room. It is not a trade calling room. It's a place for people who use the product to meet. The sole reason that is there is because we are legit. And if you don't believe in us, you can go there and talk to existing customers, right? And that's just a form of validation to actually know that the customers are there and that they're happy and you can talk to them. And I also think it's good for them to bounce ideas around, right? But don't just start following somebody and trying to replicate their trades, right? It's a chat room. It is not a moderated chat, right? There is nobody there to stop people saying stuff. And generally speaking, there's no big arguments. There's no people getting attacked because it's not moderated and they're all grown-ups, right? So for the chat room, it's up to you. If you just want to know, are people using it? Does it work? Go and have a chat. But other than that, I'd leave it, right? Then Journalytics is the trade analytics. Again, you can have a look around if you want, but you don't need it at this point. And we'll circle back to it at a later session. Now, support, a couple of ways you can get support, right? We have two main groups of customers at Jigsaw. We have a lot of young professionals who are about like 5, 6, maybe 10 years into their career and looking forward at the next 40 years, horrified, continuing to do what they do. And those guys are usually pretty good at getting set up. The other group we have are retirees, right? We're just looking for something else to do. Now, the retirees have problems setting up the installed. Antivirus gives us a problem. We have a lot of non-technical users because ours is a very simple click and play system. Don't worry about using support, just use it, right? But also, if you email support@jigsawtrading.com, it goes to the same place. It's a support system called Zendex. And that we use that to monitor support issues. Does not matter which you use. You either email support or log it in support there, right? It's just the same. It all goes to the same place, right? Then your licenses for your software are here. You can run the platform on 2 PCs at the same time. I would advise everybody, if your wife's got a PC, install it on her PC so that if your PC goes down, get on hers and close your trades, right? If you need to move the software to a different PC, you can just click in here and move that and basically disable a license and it'll be available somewhere else. And then this is the day trader platform here. That's what you need to install. You do not install the plugin for what we're doing. You need to install the platform, and that's the platform you'll be using as we go through the lessons, right? So at that point, do we have any questions? Okay. Use the beta because that's where the charting is. So it says it is the charting is beta. So believe it or not, we've been around for 10 years. We've got a lot of users. Our trading platform traditionally has not had charts, which sounds really weird. Sounds like a really stupid idea, actually. But traditionally, we've been focused on the kind of techniques that prop firms use, which are order flow based. But we're adding charts partly because the CME are kind of getting a bit stricter on how many platforms you can run before they turn you into a professional fee payer. So that's the reason we're adding charts. And we will not give you the footprint charts until we're at the stage in the course that the footprint charts are required, because we really don't want you to try and jump ahead of us, right? So license is there. You get the day trader platform. You get the latest one. That's what we'll be using. Now, the manual is daytrader.jigsawtrading.com. And what I'd recommend first is to apply for a demo account, right? Don't hook up your live account yet. There is too much temptation there to trade this information before we finish teaching you. And I've just had so many examples of this. I had a guy on a mentorship and I told him to do some drills. And this drill was a drill where you have to stay in the market all day and you can only reverse the position. And he kept emailing me every day. I'm really good at this drill. I'm really good at this drill. And then one day I got a call saying, you're an asshole. I lost $6,000 doing that drill. And it's like, it was a drill. It's an exercise. You shouldn't trade it live, you know? And so there is a temptation with some people to trade live. So let's get demo accounts. I don't want to sound like your dad, but I've just seen people do drills, get lucky in the first few hours or days without realizing why they're getting lucky, and then going on and blowing up an account. So let's get you all on demo feeds. If you do apply for a CQG demo feed, it lasts 2 weeks. If you apply again, you'd need to use a different email address. Not that I am suggesting you do that, of course. So you do the install, and next thing is getting started. So in the Day Trader manual, there's a getting started section. It tells you how to install, start the application, do your licensing, set up your data connections, and download instruments. So just follow that. Any trouble, just contact us on support or Skype me, right? We know that everybody's not at the same level technically, and that's fine. If you have Ninja, do I download the platform? Absolutely. For this, what I would do, just get a demo account and use a demo account and just use the Day Trader platform, right? So this getting started page runs you through the setup to where you can actually run the platform. Okay. Now back to the members page. You've got a lot of educational material on there, and I want you to not watch it all, right? We've got a specific goal here for the next week, and we just want to focus on that, right? Now, I've had people that I've told this to, and they didn't do it. And 6 months later, they said, I just don't get it. And I'm like, well, did you do the drills? No. Okay, do the drills and come back to me in a week. And it's like, okay, I get it, right? So this is a really important part, right? So what we should do is we've got this overview page. And if we look in the overview page, you'll see we don't want you watching all 10 hours. So the recommendation first, the knowledge to action, you can watch. It's not that important at the moment, but you can watch it later. But basically the recommendation, go to module 1, watch the first 40 minutes of video 1, right? Before you look at anything else. After that, you can take your time and watch the rest over the next few weeks. I would recommend you don't do that because we're focusing on footprints, but like 20 minutes a day, if you want to look at some of the other stuff, right? There is no benefit in cramming, but basically I'd be quite happy if you just watch the first 40 minutes of video 1. And that's all you need to do in terms of getting to where we want to get you from a theoretical perspective. So let's say you're a cyclist and you were talking to somebody that had never ridden a bicycle before, and your job is to explain to them how you know when to switch the gears on the bike up and down. And a lot of that is about feel, right? You can feel you need to change gears. But to explain that feel to somebody that never rode a bike, you can try, but they're never really going to understand it, right? Or like discussing the taste of a lemon to someone that's never tried one. It's very, very difficult, right? So some things you have to experience, right? And, these things might be possible. You might be able to put that information in somebody's head, but it's hard work and you'd never really know if it's sunk in. So I'm not saying this is a lemon, but this is getting you to practice riding the bike so that when we discuss on Friday, we'll be talking about something you've actually experienced a little bit rather than never experienced, right? So it seemed like 40 minutes of a video and some hands-on drills wouldn't do much, but it puts us at a level where the discussions that we have that follow on don't lose you, right? Now, the other thing is when you watch that first 40 minutes of video, you will hear no terminology, right? So it's not that I'm stupid and I don't know the terminology, but if I try and give you a whole bunch of new words and then I start to use those words in the 40-minute video, I will lose you, right? So we explain using metaphors so that the theory gets stuck in your head without you having to remember a new set of language. And then later on, we'll introduce you to the language, but you've already got the concepts, right? So this is your job for this week, is the first 40 minutes video, and then get your hands on, right? And you'd think 40 minutes of a video and a hands-on drill doesn't do much, but it just gets us at a point we can have a discussion, right? So that's your job for this week. Now, in a prop firm, they'll usually put together a 12-week program for their interns. 75% of that is practical, right? Now, I know there's a lot of people out there selling courses where you buy something today and you profit tomorrow. And if you ever bought one of those, you know they didn't work. So we're giving you something that's based on my experience. It's based on Alex's experience. We've given you something for a prop firm that traders that regularly have 6-figure days and some have 7-figure days, right? That's what we're going to put you through when we do the footprint course. So trust us to put you through that process with the best chance of success. Now, let me just pull up the drills if I can. Did I lose the drills? The drills are, okay, the drills are interesting. So the drills frustrate a lot of people. Okay, so a few things about the drills. First of all, expect to be really bad. I mean, really terrible at the start, right? So there's this one here, which is kind of more like trying to ride the bicycle. Cut and reverse drill puts you in the market all day, and all you can do is reverse, and you have to stay in the position, right? So if you do this, you should be terrible, right? And you shouldn't beat yourself up for being terrible. We're giving you this for a reason, right? So the entire point of the drills is to get you to understand that a lot of kind of your expectations about the markets are the wrong way around, right? So you should be terrible. That's the point of the drills. You don't beat yourself up. You do not track P&L, right? But what you should track is how many good decisions you make, right? Just watch as you make better and better decisions, right? So most people, when they do this cut and reverse, they will go from short to long just before the market takes a dive. And they will just keep doing it over and over again. And it's just like, I can't believe this. I'm terrible at this. I'm making decisions in all the wrong places. And that's what people do. And that's what gets you to start looking at it and then improve. So when you stop improving on a drill, that's when you stop. Now, another thing people will do is they will email me asking for more information or some kind of insider secrets on how to do the drills, right? So, can you tell me a bit more? What should I do when this happens? What should I do when that happens? And the answer to that is, I'm not telling you, right? Because the information in the drill videos is designed to give you enough to start and learn for yourself, right? That's what it's about. It's if we just tell you when to reverse, there's no point you going through that learning process. Now, you can ask questions about things you see and you want clarification, but don't come to me and say, I'm not very good at it. What should I do? Because you need to do more of it, right? That's what you do. If you're having a complete wipeout, we can have a chat. But like people kind of want like a cheat code for it, like it's a video game. But the point is, it's a learning process, right? So the cut and reverse forces you into the market all day, and you can only reverse the trade. Now, has anybody here done a flight simulator? Anybody been on a flight simulator? When you've flown like a 747 or anything like that? Okay, Lothar. Right, Richard. Can you tell me, the first time you did that, how much did you sweat while you were flying that simulator? Were you perfectly calm? Very. Yeah, I left that like I'd been in a sauna. I wasn't even a real plane. It wasn't even a real plane, but just like, oh my God, I've got all these controls and all these different things to watch, and I'm landing in Hong Kong airport between condos, and I wasn't, I killed a few people, admittedly, but they weren't real people, they're just virtual. But because it was a new skill and I'm trying to do all these different things, I sweated, I felt pressure, and you will feel the same thing. So what we say with these drills is 60 minutes to 90 minutes and stop, right? There's no point doing too much because it's a new skill, right? You don't have driving lessons and have like your first driving lesson a 10-hour lesson, right? There's a reason it's an hour lesson. And different people will have kind of different tolerance. Some can go 60, some can go 90, but don't like go all day, right? And what you can do is do one in the morning, one in the afternoon, right? And so don't beat yourself up with it, because the way we learn is we do stuff like this, and then it's kind of later as our brain absorbs it that we actually do most of the learning, right? So don't kill yourself with it. Expect to be crap. Once you feel you're not improving anymore, you move on to the next drill and do not track P&L, right? Just try and track whether you're making better decisions, right? So that's the cut and reverse. The one tick trading drill is basically just to get you to enter into the market over and over again, right? Just to keep focusing on when is a good time to enter into the market, right? And you have to get out of the tick. And again, that is a very, very difficult way to make money. So you don't expect to make a profit. It's just a learning exercise, right? So are you all okay with kind of the concept with that? That don't kill yourself over it. Don't beat yourself up over the results. It's like, if you're improving, that's what it's for. But we're giving you stuff you're going to be terrible at. Yeah, we're purposely giving you stuff you're going to be terrible at, right? Right. So, summary, get a demo feed, install the product, 40 minutes of video one, do the drills. The goal is that you're going to see things you never saw before in the markets, and those are actionable things. And try different markets, right? So some of you will get on better with slower markets and faster markets. It's kind of a personality thing. And then what we'll do, we'll meet on Friday, and on Friday, we'll be able to talk about things that we can't talk about today because you didn't experience them yet, right? And it's all about the single goal is just to teach you what order flow is and what causes price to move, right? You're going to be practicing on the dome. You're not going to be practicing on the footprint charts. It doesn't matter. So all order flow tools are based on basically the same set of concepts. So it doesn't really matter where you start, but this is where we want you to start. So basically, when you get from this, and then we get to week 2, when you're doing the footprint chart, you're going to understand what they're talking about, right? Now, we could give you all of the videos, except the weekly ones. We could give you all of the videos for the footprint chart right now. But the feeling is a lot of you will just go through the whole thing, right? And it's not the way stuff sticks in your head, right? And the other thing is the Skype ID, my Skype address is Jigsaw Trading. For the guys on this footprint chart, because you've only got this week to kind of do these drills, you need to reach out to me there if you get stuck, right? And don't be afraid to do that, right? We're not here to like take your money and run. And so let's look at some of the questions. Why use footprint chart if the dome shows everything? Okay, there's a trader at Axia called Brannigan Barrett, and he's one of the traders that trades from home. He doesn't get on with the dome. He doesn't like it, he doesn't use it, and he uses footprints. So one of the reasons is that it suits people better than others, but he still uses the dome to get in and out of trades, that kind of final confirmation. The footprints give you a bit more history, right? So there is kind of some benefits in that as well. But basically, if you look at things, the order flow tools, that it's almost like each order flow tool is a different time frame, not because you use it on a different time frame, but because of the way it presents the data. So the highest time frame order flow tool would be the cumulative delta, right? That just shows you the waves of the orders up and down. And then the next time frame of order flow tool would be the footprints, which is giving you kind of like the order executions over time. The next level down order flow tool is the dome. So it's almost like taking your cumulative delta is your 10,000 feet view, your footprint is your 1,000 feet view, and your dome is your 10 feet view. And regardless of what time frames you use, the way they display the data is kind of giving you a different perspective, right? What is the average learning curve? Right, so try to get through all 3 drills during this week. If you can, Paul, but it's the first and the second one that are the most important. After downloading, will we know it's demo? You will, because you'll have a demo account from our website. Average learning curve, it's absolutely down to you. The learning curve for traders is all about how much time they put in. And that's one of the things that we will also cover, right? But, what we're teaching you is what Axia use in a lot of their education. And we're going to give you actual setups as well. So it's not like we're just going to teach you the concepts and let you find the setups. We're going to give you the setups. But like you could publish a setup tomorrow, right? And like literally, you could publish a setup tomorrow. You could put it on the front of the New York Post or the Wall Street Journal, and nobody would use it because they'd try it a couple of times. It would be something new to them, wouldn't work for them. They'd get disappointed. So, oh, that wasn't very good. And they'd move on. And that's what people do. So basically with any setup or any method, you just got to appreciate, just like the drills, it will take time to improve. And it's not so much as how long does it take. It's whether you just give up because it doesn't work first time, right? And that's what a lot of people do. And they go onto the web and they see an advert for something with 90% profitability and absolute guarantees and all that kind of thing, and they buy that, right? And that doesn't work either. And then they just go around that cycle continually. So we're trying to, it's a professional prop firm. It's Jigsaw. We've got a good reputation. We're trying to give you something that give you a genuine leg up, right? That you can actually, turn into profit. But also what we want you to do is to be able to create your own footprint setups as well. I used to do this one thing. I'd give people a task of analyzing their setups for a couple of weeks and not trading them. And I remember getting an email from a guy, and he said, you know what, when I was looking at my setup, it wasn't that good, but I saw this other thing over and over again. And he said, every time it happened, this happened, or nearly every time it happened, this happened. And he said, do you think it would be okay to trade that? And it's like, well, you don't need my permission, but like, if you've seen something in the market that has a reaction and you see it over and over again, you should trade it. But a lot of people are scared of that and think that like the people that create setups are like market masters, but it's not true. That all a trading edge is the ability to see a pattern repeat itself and then be able to see it early enough where you could actually make a profit from it. That's what an edge is, and that's where we're trying to get to. Is there, like, and that answers your question as well, Lothar. Is there a particular market that's preferable for the drills? I wouldn't use the DAX, but different people like different markets. So for me, if I start looking at interest rates, what will happen is I'll be looking at the interest rate products, and on another screen, Facebook will magically appear, or a news channel, or some forum that I'm a member of, and because I just don't have the focus to look at a slow market for any duration of time, right? For me, I generally have to be doing more than one thing at any one time, right? So there's other people like John Grady, who like is so laid back. He's just a genuinely laid back guy. He trades interest rates and he loves them. And he loves the fact that he can sit there and watch it for hours and not trade, and then just boom, take a trade. So one of the things we talk about in the first drill is try a few markets. And it's not so much it's not so much like the particular market, whether it's like wheat or corn. It's the pace of the market. It's how fast that market is. Can that market keep you engaged? If it's too slow, you won't stay engaged. You won't do very well. If it's too fast, you'll just be like, you just won't be able to do it. So it's kind of like you find a pace of market that suits you. And again, what we tell people at Jigsaw is like, when we have these crazy times when volatility goes through the roof, and if you're an S&P trader trading like a regular S&P market and that gets really fast, you have to find another market that has the volatility that the old ES had. And that's what you'd be trading. Then you'll kind of be more comfortable. Like sitting through each drill, 60 minutes at a time. I would suggest, if you can do it first hour and last hour, those are good times. Don't do it at lunchtime. If you're going to do it outside of regular hours, pick a faster market. The DAX is now almost 24 hours. NASDAQ, for instance, will be a much faster market, crude oil. So if you can't be there during like the regular US session. Just pick a faster market. Okay. A mid-pace market right now. Well, some of the treasuries are mid-pace markets. Look at some of the grains, corn, wheat, stuff like that. They kind of cycle up and down in terms of volatility every quarter because, a corn contract one quarter isn't actually trading the same product as a corn contract another quarter because it's going to be from a different country. So, that will also make a difference. But, you just look around. I mean, ES used to be a regular pace market. Look at some currency futures. Look at some interest rates that are running a little faster than normal, that kind of thing. Okay. Any other questions? How can I switch my secondary? You got me stumped there, Anna. I'm not sure what that means. License for my laptop. If you send an email to support@jigsawtrading.com, I'll send you the knowledge base article. You can actually, there's two ways basically. You can do it from the members page. Let me just show you. Am I logged on? You can do it from the members page here, licenses, and you can look at your, where do I do that? I swear you can do it from here. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. You should be able to do it from here somewhere. If not, you can actually do it from the platform itself. So if you've still got the old platform running, you can actually disable the license within there. And I'm not sure. Let me just have a look at that again. I'm sure. Oh, it's good. Okay, I haven't activated this. If you've got activations, there's a link here, and that will let you deactivate a particular PC, right? If you're using multicharts.net, you should still use Day Trader and a demo account to do the drills, right? This is the way we want everybody to do it because it keeps us all on the same page. Why not the DAX? The DAX is the fastest market out there. It's wild. Oh, well, actually, there's some markets in Hong Kong that are actually faster than the DAX. It's a very wild market. It does suit some people. You can try the DAX, but it really moves. It's just up and down. And that does make it a little bit more difficult for somebody who's doing it for the first time. But again, you just might find it suits you. So there's no reason not to. But again, what you don't want to do is say, well, I want to trade the DAX, get onto the DAX, find you can't do it and beat yourself up, right? This is not about beating yourself up, which is what a lot of traders do. This is about doing some drills, being bad at the start, and then improving and patting yourself on the back as you improve. And that's why we don't want you to track your P&L, because there's no way you'll stay in the market all day only being able to reverse and make profit. It's impossible, right? It's a stupid thing to do. But if you track the P&L, you'll have a negative P&L and you'll beat yourself up, right? All you're looking for is, oh, actually now I'm reversing in a better place than I was before, right? So keep it positive, right? Any other questions that I didn't answer yet? And like I say, there are no stupid questions, but there may be some stupid answers. I can't help that. Okay, I think we're good for questions. So like I say, Skype Jigsaw Trading if you get stuck. Use the support system. This is the last meeting till Friday. We'll meet again on Friday. On Friday, if we find like 50% of the people are struggling, we can always do some more sessions, right? And there's not a reverse button on the entry panel, but you just go in with, you just go along one and then set the quantity to 2 and then just buy and sell. It's 64-bit. You can use it with TraderVate, but again, and don't use it with the Top Step Trader Combine for the drills because you will fail the combine. Right, but you can use it with TraderVate. But again, what we want you to do, get onto a demo account, and there is a TraderVate demo account. So yeah, you can. But again, what we want you to do is just get on the same level. So on Friday, if we found a lot of people struggled, we can just do another couple of sessions. You know, we're flexible. We want to get you all successful. You can use this for combines, yes, but only at the end of the 7 weeks. Where'd you get the demo again? It's on the manual, which is hidden. Right. It's daytrader.jigsawtrading.com. And you should have had a welcome email, hopefully, that told you that, but that's where you want to go for the instructions. And what I'm going to do, it's like 10:30 at night here. I'm going to keep my eye on Skype. If any of you struggle for the next hour or two, I'll be around. But I'd have to drop off my daughter at 6 a.m. So I'm not going to be around till 3 p.m. New York time. So like I say, this is more about patting yourselves on the back than beating yourselves up, because we're giving you stuff that's going to challenge you. And then Friday is going to be a very, very interesting discussion. And with that, I'm going to leave you to it. Like I say, don't cram the courses. It's a 40-minute video and some drills, right? The next session is the same time as this one on Friday, okay? And I will send out another email. And you can email me too about your results. And if there's anything specific that you need to talk about on Friday, send me that. The footprints will be released on the day that we start talking about the footprints in the course. And can I use Jigsaw with FTMO? I don't know what FTMO is. But again, you can send me an email about that. All right, with that, I'm going to sign off. Good luck, and let's keep in touch, and I will talk to you all on Friday. What date is that? And it's Friday, Adam. You're going to have to figure that out yourself. I can't remember what the date is. I think it's the 23rd. All right, thanks all, and catch you later.